which attracts thousands of women each year, and organisers are hoping this year will be no different.
2010's Race for Life was launched by Cancer Research UK in Cambridge today.
65,000 women are due to run in events across the east of England, and 3 of them were at the launch today. Claire McGlasson was there for us.
Being told she had cancer made Debbie Hayden from Cambridge do some of the things she'd always wanted to do. She's been painting ever since and has now battled cancer 5 times.
I've never felt sorry for myself. I've always been mostly an optimistic person. I mean, there's been times when it's been hard, and there's times when I've sort of started feeling sorry for myself, but a voice in me said, no, this isn't the way.
Today, Debbie was one of 3 women launching this year's Race for Life at Cancer Research UK in Cambridge. Among them, Anglia Tonight correspondent Victoria Webb. She was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma 2 years ago.
A couple of weeks before being at work, living a normal life, suddenly you're a cancer patient, and I remember the first time I cried actually properly there was when I asked them if I was going to lose my hair. And I know that's such a vain thing, but for a girl, and they said I was going to lose my hair, and it was just so surreal, and I just craved normality. But the one thing now I have to say is that life can get back to normal.
Victoria is one of nearly 65,000 women who'll be running this year's Race for Life in the east of England. And this is why. Last year, Cancer Research UK spent nearly £39 million on research here in Cambridge alone.
Even raising £1 will be spent in a significant way in the lab. We need things like glass cover slips for putting on slides to look at things under the microscope. We also need the microscopes, of course, but we can do a lot with whatever donations we receive.
The theme of this year's race is amazing moments, with the runners wearing their highlights on their backs. For this cancer survivor from Cambridge, it was holding her grandson for the first time.
That was a magical things you can ever think of. And that was really important.
Running in the Race for Life is a chance for women like Savvy to celebrate life and raise some money along the way. And every step they take takes the scientists one step closer to beating cancer. Claire McGlasson, Anglia News, Cambridge.
Well, it's a terrific race. You've actually been in it, haven't you?
I have. I've done it a couple of times, actually. Really, really good event and full of inspirational, moving women like that.
Terrific. Right next, the amateur filmmaker from Cambridge who enjoys turning Hollywood movies into 1-minute spoofs.
This is the 3rd year that Mark Wong has entered the Done in 60 Seconds competition run by Empire magazine. In the past, he's made parodies of Speed and Pearl Harbor.
Well, this year he chose to poke fun. You've probably guessed it by now looking at that. Top Gun. Stuart Leith has the full story.
He's a film star, director and producer. But it's all achieved from the comfort of his home in Cambridge, rather than a big-budget studio. Mark Wong specialises in making 1-minute parodies of blockbuster movies to enter the annual Done in 60 Seconds competition run by Empire magazine. And his latest target was the Tom Cruise classic Top Gun.
Gentlemen, you have the largest egos in the United States Navy.
I was really pleased with the finished film. I think it has a humorous take on Top Gun. It has all of the right elements of Top Gun that people recognise. There's the singing, the cheesy song, there's the motorbike scene, there's obviously the need for speed, and there's the kind of volleyball scene, all those classic Top Gun scenes. I was really pleased we managed to squeeze them all in there.
I know everything about jets. He's right, I'm just the love interest.
Many of the scenes were filmed at genuine air bases, including RAF Lakenheath in Suffolk and RAF Alconbury in Cambridgeshire.
It's quite a big deal. You don't just walk onto a US Air Force base and start filming. They had to escort us on base and everywhere we went. But what they did for us was fantastic, and it really shows in the film. You know, it really looks like Top Gun.
Mark's aim was to poke fun at as many bits of the movie as possible in his 60 seconds.
What's your problem, Kaczynski? You're dangerous and short.
As it turns out, there's not much story in Top Gun. It's just a series of kind of beautiful images. And so, for my purposes, it was a case of trying to get as many of those classic Top Gun scenes into that 60-second cut as possible, whilst telling the minimal story and adding a bit of humour to it.
Gentlemen, we have a convenient crisis to end the movie. Let's go.
You can vote at the Empire magazine website, and Hollywood movie makers should beware. He's already looking for a film to spoof for next year's competition.
All right! You can be my wingman anytime.
Stuart Leiths, Anglia News, Cambridge.
Oh, it's some classic lines. Absolutely, I better get in just to... You've had your Alvin Studders Club. No, just get into method for this. Here we are. Right.
You look like you're going skiing.
Shut up. Now, if I said... I feel the need, you would say...
The need for speed.
Not bad. And OK, this time I'll be Iceman. You can be Maverick for this one. You can be my wingman anytime.
No, Jonathan, you could be my wingman. Oh, I see what you mean.
You're not acting now, are you?
And of course, if you want to see the full 60-second version, then just visit our website. That's itv.com/Anglia.
No more props.
Now, the remarkable coincidence that's got the worshippers at a church in Cambridgeshire talking and perhaps slightly confused.
Well, you see, the vicar is called Rhiannon, and the trainee vicar is also called Rhiannon.
And the similarities don't stop there. So to find out more, we sent, who else, but our very own Rhiannon Mills to meet them.
It's not a name that you come across very often unless you're hanging out in the Welsh valleys, which is why in Fulbourn in Cambridgeshire it's a bit of a surprise to find not just one Rhiannon, but two. And today I make it three. We've also got the same middle name, which is Elizabeth, except these two here have got a lot more than that in common. Incredibly, they also share the same surname of Jones, and since September they've been working together at St Vigal's Church.
When I was first told about it, I couldn't believe it. I just wasn't sure at all, but it's been great to meet the other Rhiannons.
The sort of low-level confusion, you know, of people, they usually want to talk to Rhiannon after the service, so when they shout her name, I'm sort of turning around and like, oh not me, no.
Curly Rhiannon is a trainee vicar, while Reverend Rhiannon is, of course, in charge. But their name, like mine, originates from the same place.
Basically, Rhiannon was a very strong, one could say almost stroppy character in the Mabinogion, Welsh literature. So I think they were quite appropriate in their naming of me, actually.
The similarities don't stop there either. They're both single. One of their parents came from Llanelli in Wales. Both their grandfathers were ministers, and they both studied at Ridley Hall Theological College in Cambridge.
Lovely picture.
It's got the whole village talking, and hopefully more parishioners heading for the pews.
We always welcome people to church anyway, but it's lovely if people want to come and meet us and then, you know, hopefully meet with God at the same time.
You don't have to be called Rhiannon to come to the church.
Well, we might register when people come in.
Yeah.
You're very welcome. You've got the right name.
Now, I've never met another Rhiannon before, but it seems that we all have the same problems. Do people always pronounce your names wrong?
Often, for me. Often.
Yeah. There's been some variations on a theme, definitely.
And how about people asking you whether you're named after the Fleetwood Mac song?
It happens to me all the time.
All right.
People are constantly saying, oh, it must be because of Fleetwood Mac. It's definitely nothing to do with that. It's just we're Welsh.
So it's probably unlikely it'll ever make it on the hymn sheets, and I'm certainly not thinking of changing my career, although these two are working on my name.
Perhaps we could persuade you to get married to a Jones.
That might be a little bit harder, maybe.
Oh, well, I've got a really nice cousin who's available.
Oh, well, they do promise a good wedding. Rhiannon Elizabeth Mills for Anglia News at Fulbourn, near Cambridge.
Thank you, Rhiannon, and Rhiannon. Such an amazing coincidence, but perhaps not. Do you know of an equally incredible coincidence?
Yep, the web address there, is it? Yeah, it's jonathanbecky@itv.com. Get in touch with us about that.
Yeah, let's get the weather now with Amanda.
Lovely. That's trying to say is I don't think I'm going to need these for a few days yet, am I?
Nice that the days are getting longer, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's lovely. That's all for today. We'll see you tomorrow, I hope.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye.